A very good morning to all of you students. This is Priya, your science teacher. In this video, I will explain you the last chapter, that is chapter number 18 of your NCERT textbook, that is pollution of air and water. In this chapter, I'll be explaining you about the air pollution, the causes of air pollution, the consequences of air pollution, and how can we reduce this. About the water pollution, the causes and consequences of water pollution, and how can we reduce the water pollution. So let's start with the air pollution. First of all, अगर आपने अपने elders से कभी if you talk about the environment with your elders, so उन्होंने आपको बताया होगा कि पहले about 20 to 30 years ago पहले स्काई कितना क्लियर होता था, जो वाटर होता था वो कितना क्लीन होता था, फ्रेश एयर हमें मिलती थी, दैट वाज अवेलेबल समटाइम्स. बट नाउ द टाइम हैज़ चेंज्ड रैपिडली, ठीक है, बिकॉज ऑफ द एयर पोल्यूशन, बिकॉज ऑफ द पॉल्यूटेंट्स दैट आर रिलीज्ड इनटू द एयर एंड द पॉल्यूटेंट्स दैट आर रिलीज्ड इन आवर वाटर बॉडीज विच आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ पोल्यूशन. You know that we cannot survive, we can survive for some time without food, ठीक है, or we can survive for some hours without the water, but we cannot survive even for a few minutes without the air. So this simple fact tells how important the clean air is to us. As you all know that air is consist of a mixture of gases. If you talk about the volume of air, 70% of air it contains nitrogen, 20% of it contains oxygen, and about the 1% it contains methane, ozone and water vapors. The next question is what is air pollution that arises in our mind is that the addition of the substances or the addition of the smoke, the addition of the black smoke, the addition of unburnt carbon particles, the addition of pollutants or the solid particles, the addition of such substances to the atmosphere, it modifies the environment of air. So when the air is contaminated by these unwanted pollutants which have a very harmful effect on both the living organisms and the non-living organisms, it is referred to as the air pollution. So how does this air get polluted? What are the causes of this air pollution? The substances which contaminate the air, they are called the air pollutants. Sometimes the substances they arise from the smoke or the dust which arises from the forest fire or the volcanic eruptions. Pollutants, they are also added to the atmosphere by many types of human activities. For example, in the factories, in the power plants, the automobile exhaust, the burning of various types of fossil fuels and dung cakes, it contributes to the air pollution. Vehicles, they also produce high levels of pollutants like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide gases, nitrogen oxides and smoke by the burning of the petrol and diesel. So this carbon monoxide gas is produced from the incomplete burning of fuels such as petrol and diesel. It is a very dangerous gas because it has the very high affinity with our blood hemoglobin. So it reduces the oxygen carrying capacity of our blood with the hemoglobin. So this is one of the reasons why the air gets polluted. The next reason for the air pollution is the smog. ठीक है, have you ever noticed a thick foggy layer in the atmosphere, especially during the winter mornings? This is known as smog. Smog is a mixture of the smoke and fog. Smoke, it mainly contains the oxides of nitrogen which combine with other air pollutants and fog to form the smoke. This smoke, it is responsible for many respiratory diseases such as asthma, cough and wheezing in case of children and in case of adults. Also, many industries, they are also responsible for causing the air pollution. For example, petroleum refineries, the petroleum purification that taken into the industries, they are the major source of gaseous pollutants like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. So sulfur dioxide, it is produced by the combustion of fuels like coal in the power plants. So these types of fuels, they can cause various types of respiratory problems like permanent lung damage or bronchitis or emphysema in case of humans. So this is also one of the cause of air pollution. Other kind of pollutants, these are known as chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, which are the major air pollutant and they are used in refrigerators, in air conditioner nowadays very rapidly, and also the aerosol sprays. These chlorofluorocarbons, they damage the ozone layer of the atmosphere. Recall that the ozone layer protects us from the harmful UV rays of the sun. So have you heard of the ozone hole? What is ozone hole? It is basically the damage of the ozone layer. So thankfully less harmful chemicals are now being used in place of the CFC so that we can save the ozone layer. In addition, automobiles, they burn diesel and petrol. They also produce tiny particles or the tiny unburnt carbon particles which remain suspended in the air for long periods. They reduce the visibility in the air. So when inhaled, they cause various types of diseases. Such type of carbon particles are also produced during the industrial process like steel making and extraction of metals or mining. Power plants, they give out tiny ash particles which are also pollute the atmosphere. So these are some of the major causes of by which the air is polluted. So these are some of the major pollutants. Next is the case study of the Taj Mahal. Case study, it is basically the example of the consequence of the air pollution that is taking place. We can understand this by an example about the Taj Mahal. Okay, the Taj Mahal, as you all know, it is located in Agra. It has become a matter of big concern nowadays because experts have warned that pollutants present in the air, it is discoloring its white marble. So it is proven that not only the living organisms that get affected by this air pollution, but also the non-living organisms like buildings, monuments and statues, they also get affected by this pollution. The industries around the Taj Mahal like rubber processing, automobile, chemicals and especially the Mathura oil refinery, they are majorly responsible for producing the pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. These gases, they react with the water vapor present in the atmosphere to form the sulfuric acid and nitric acid. So this acid, they are responsible for making the acid rain. These acids, they drop down with the rain, making the rain acidic. This is known as acid rain. This acid rain, it corrodes the marble of the monument. So this phenomenon is known as the marble cancer. So this is a major consequence of the air pollution. Also the suspended particulate matter such as the soot particles or black colored particles emitted by the Mathura oil refinery has contributed towards the yellowing of the marble. So the Supreme Court has taken several steps to save the Taj Mahal. They have ordered the industries to switch to the cleaner fuels like CNG, compressed natural gas or the liquefied petroleum gas. Moreover, the automobiles should switch over to the unleaded petrols in the Taj zone. The next is the greenhouse effect. What is the greenhouse effect? You know that the sun rays, they warm the earth's surface. Okay, a part of the UV radiation that falls on the earth's surface, it is absorbed by the earth's surface or absorbed by the atmosphere. Okay, but a part of it is reflected back to the atmosphere. The part of the reflected radiation is trapped by the atmosphere. This trapped radiation, it further warms the earth's surface. So if you have seen a greenhouse in a nursery or elsewhere, recall that the sun's heat is allowed to get in, but it is not allowed to get out, which is responsible for trapping the heat in the greenhouse. So the trapping of radiations by the earth's surface is similar, why it is called as the greenhouse effect. This heating of the earth, it is majorly responsible for threatening the living organism living in the earth's surface. So CO2 or the carbon dioxide, it is one of the most important greenhouse gas that is responsible for this effect. As we all know that CO2 is one of the components of air which is responsible or it is continuously being released because of the human activities that we release carbon dioxide when we exhale out the air. On the other hand, area under the forest is decreasing. So plants utilize the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for photosynthesis. Thereby, it decreases the amount of carbon dioxide in the air. So deforestation leads to an increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the air, because the number of trees which are consumed, the CO2 is reduced. So human activities thus contributes to the more accumulation of the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So this CO2, it traps the heat and does not allow it to escape into the space. As a result, the average temperature of the earth's surface is gradually increasing day by day. This process is known as global warming. This is a very big concern to take care of. Other gases also like methane, nitrous oxide and water vapor, they also contribute towards this effect. They are also known as the greenhouse gas. It is becoming a major concern for the governments worldwide. Many countries, they have reached an agreement to reduce the emission of greenhouse gases. The Kyoto Protocol is one such agreement among them. So Bujo is, it is very surprising to note that because of the increase in the carbon dioxide, there is a little increase in the 0.5 degrees Celsius temperature that can make a very serious effect on our Earth's surface. This can leads to the melting of the Gangotri glacier in the Himalayas, and it also leads to the melting of the polar ice caps. So it is very harmful, and it can lead to the various serious consequences in our atmosphere. So what can be done to reduce this type of air pollution? One such example of this is that there are a few years ago, Delhi was one of the most polluted cities in the world. It was among the top 10 polluted cities in the world, but it was being choked by fumes released from the automobiles running on diesel and petrol. But a decision by the government was taken to switch to fuels like CNG or the unleaded petrol. These measures have resulted in a cleaner air for the city. You might have know of some other examples. For example, there is an alternative fuel. We can use alternative fuel instead of the fossil fuel. For example, solar energy, hydropower plants and wind energy plants, they are using nowadays to reduce the pollution. Also, we should plant a tree every year so that it can make the Earth's atmosphere cleaner and fit for breathing. So that's all with the air pollution. Next is the water pollution. Okay, we saw that water is becoming scarce day by day ड्यू टू इंक्रीज इन दी पॉपुलेशन इंक्रीज होने की वजह से इंडस्ट्री सेटअप बढ़ रहा है, एग्रीकल्चर एक्टिविटीज़ बढ़ रही है, जिसकी वजह से वाटर के अंदर जो पोल्यूटेंट्स है वो बढ़ रहे हैं. लोग जो वाटर बॉडीज है उनके पास ओके दे वॉश द क्लोथ्स, दे बेथ इन इट, एंड दिस मीन्स दैट वी आर एडिंग दी पोल्यूटेंट्स इन टू आवर वाटर विच स्पॉइल्स इट्स क्वालिटी एंड चेंज इट्स स्मेल एंड मेक इट अनफिट फॉर ड्रिंकिंग. So whenever these harmful substances they get such as sewage, toxic chemicals, silt particles, etc., they get mixed with water, the water becomes polluted. The substances that pollute the water, they are known as water pollutants, and this phenomena is known as water pollution. So how does the water get polluted? Let us take an example, let us take a case study of the Ganga river. You know that Ganga river, it is one of the most famous rivers in India. It sustains almost the northern part, central part and the eastern Indian population. Millions of people are depend on it for the daily needs of livelihood. So recently a study by the Worldwide Fund for the Nature found that Ganga is one of the 10 most endangered or the polluted rivers in the world. The pollution level is rising day by day for many years. Because we have reached this stage because the towns and cities through which the river flows, they throw large quantities of solid waste, liquid waste and untreated sewage, the dead bodies and many other harmful things directly into the river. In fact, the river is dead at many places where the pollution levels are so high that aquatic life cannot survive in it. So an ambitious or a very concerning plan to save the river called the Ganga Action Plan was launched by the government in 1985. The main motive to reduce the pollution level in the river Ganga. However, the increasing population and industrialization have already damaged this mighty river beyond the repair. So let us also take a specific example to understand the situation of the Ganga river. The Ganga river at Kanpur in Uttar Pradesh or the UP in India has one of the most polluted stretches of the river because Kanpur is one of the most populated town in the UP. So people can be seen bathing or washing clothes and defecating in the river. This is a very bad thing to do. They also threw garbage, flowers, idols of gods and goddesses and non-biodegradable polythene bags into the river. At Kanpur, the amount of water is comparatively small and the flow of river is very slow. So in addition, Kanpur also has 5,000 industries which include fertilizer, detergents and many types of solid waste which are released into the Ganga river, which is making the water of the river more polluting. So many industries they discharge harmful chemicals into the rivers and streams, causing the pollution of water. Examples are oil refineries, paper factories, textile mills, sugar mills and chemical factories. So these industries, they are responsible for the chemical contamination of water. Why they are responsible for the chemical contamination of water? Because they release harmful chemicals in water bodies, including some metals, for example arsenic, lead and fluorides, which can lead to toxicity in plants and animals. जब plants या aquatic animals हैं, जब उन्हें inhale करते हैं, so it is very difficult for them to breathe. So the industries are supposed to treat the waste before they discharge it into the water bodies. So they can the soil is affected by the impure water, causing changes in the acidity, growth of worms, etc. So the soil is also affecting by this water pollution. Also, have you seen a farmer spraying the pesticides and weedicides to the crop so that it can save it from many type of insects and pests and weeds? However, all these chemicals, they dissolve in water and they are washed into the water bodies from the fields. They also seep into the ground to pollute the groundwater. So they also contributes to the water pollution. Apart from this, the growth of algae in water bodies. Have you seen a pond which look green from the distance because they have a lot of algae growing in them? So the growth of algae, it usually occurs because of the increase in the pollutants in the water bodies. This is caused by excessive quantities of chemicals which get washed from the fields. This act as nutrients for the algae to flourish, and they multiply and they grow on a large scale. Once these algae die, they serve as food for the decomposers like bacteria. But these algae, they used up a lot of oxygen in the water, and this results in the decrease in the oxygen level of the water bodies, which may kill the aquatic organisms. Sometimes the untreated sewage, it is also thrown directly into the rivers which contain the food waste, the detergents, the microorganisms, etc. So water contaminated with the sewage may contain bacteria, virus, fungi, parasites, which can cause various types of communicable and non-communicable disease, for example cholera, typhoid and jaundice. So water pollution is also responsible for various types of human diseases. The bacteria which is present in the feces of mammals, they are indicators of the quality of water. If the water has this bacteria, it means that it is contaminated by the fecal matter. So we can test the pollution level of the water bodies by testing these bacteria. If such water is used by us, it can cause various infections and various diseases in human body. Next is what is potable water and how is water purified? How can we reduce this water pollution on a large scale? What is potable water? The water which is suitable for drinking is known as potable water. You have seen that how the physical and chemical processes in the sewage treatment plants help to clean water before discharging into the water bodies. That how we use the anaerobic bacteria or the aerobic bacteria in the tanks, in the large tanks, and then in the clarified tanks to clean the or to treat the sewage. Similarly, the municipal bodies, they treat the water before supplying it to the households. So let us see that how the water that reach to us can be made safe for drinking. You have already seen how water is filtered. There is a physical methods that we use in our homes of removing the impurities from the water. A popular is the water filter, or the household filter is a candle type that filters the water. So this is one of the method to clean the water. Next, many household, they use boiling, because boiling is a method of obtaining safe drinking water. It kills the germs present in the water. Also chlorination, it is also very common and acceptable method, chemical method for purifying the water. It is done by adding chlorine tablets or bleaching powder to the water, and we should not also be safe by using the chlorine tablets, because we should not use more than chlorine tablets than the specified. It can cause various types of diseases. So what can be done to reduce this water pollution? A very simple household practices we can practice so that we can reduce the water pollution. Laws for the industrial units should be strictly implemented by the government so that this pollution of water can be decreased. Also, water treatment plants should be installed in all the industrial areas. At our individual levels, we should consciously save water and not waste it. We should use minimum water. Reuse, we can reuse the water, and recycle should be our mantra. For example, we can think of creative ideas like reusing water used for washing and for other household tasks. For example, water can be used, water which is used for washing vegetables may be used to water the plants in the garden, so that pollution is no longer a distant phenomena. So we should all realize our responsibility towards our environment and start using the eco-friendly processes to reduce this type of pollution, so that the survival of our planet is possible. I hope you have understood this chapter very well. Thank you.